Alright, so today we're going to learn whether we need to use the sine, the cosine, or the tangent when we're solving a given right triangle. We want to know which trig function do we need to use. So today we're just setting it up. And then on our next video we'll learn how we actually do solve for them. So today it's just setting it up, trying to figure out to use sine, cosine, or tangent, and how I would set up the problem to solve. Alright, so if we look on this problem, what we're going to do is we need to label our sides again. I think it's so easy at first if we label our sides. Are so helpful until you get the hang of it. Then you can stop labeling your sides. But until you get there, I want you to label your sides. So first, I found the right angle, and I go across, and here's my hypotenuse. Here's my given angle, so I'm going to go across and find the opposite. And then here I have my adjacent. All right, so what information did they give me? All right, they give me the 61 degrees from the angle. They give me the opposite, and they give me the hypotenuse. So from SOHCAHTOA, which one is the opposite and the hypotenuse? Well, the sine is opposite and hypotenuse. The cosine is adjacent and hypotenuse. And the tangent is opposite and adjacent. So which one has the O and the H? Well, that would be the sine. Okay, so I figured out I have to use the sine to be able to solve this. Now to set it up, we're going to say the sine of the angle. So whatever the angle is goes inside the parentheses right here. So here we're going to say the sine of 61 equals, now we're going to do our trig ratio like we learned in our previous video. So remember, sine is O over H. So O is 15 and H is X. Okay, and that's as far as we're going today. We just want to set them up. So that's how I set it up. I found it was a sine, I put the degree in here, and I did opposite over hypotenuse. Okay? So that's all we're going to do on a bunch of different things today. Alright, so here, let's once again, here is my 90-degree angle, so let's label. This is my hypotenuse. Here's the angle, the identified angle, so there's my opposite, which means this is my adjacent. Alright, so what sides did they give me? Well, I have the hypotenuse, which is X, and I have the adjacent, which is 12. So which one of these includes the adjacent and the hypotenuse? And it would be right here. It's my cosine that I'm using this time, because the cosine has to do with the adjacent and the hypotenuse, the A and the H. So to write down my answer, I'm going to say the cosine of what angle? 33 degrees equals the trig ratio A over H. So in this case, 12 over X. And that's how I would set up that problem. Okay? Let's try another one. Alright, so go across from the 90-degree angle and I find the hypotenuse. Across from the identified angle, I find the opposite, which means this third one is the adjacent. Alright, so they give me the opposite and the adjacent. So which trig function has an O and an A, opposite and adjacent? And that would be TOA. So this time I'm going to use the tangent function. Okay, so I'm going to write the tangent of the angle. In this case, the angle is X. I don't know what it is. So we're going to say the tangent of X equals, then the trig ratio, TOA, opposite over adjacent. So what's my O? In this case, my O is the 3. Adjacent, in this case, is the 4. So I set it up as the tangent of X equals 3 over 4. And that's how we figure out which trig function we're going to use and how we set it up. And next video, we'll learn how to actually solve those problems. But for now, just make sure you know which trig function you're going to use and how you set up the function and how, and go from there, or go to that point. So if you have any questions, let me know, and we will see you on the next video.